generated over $10.1 million in e-commerce sales in just the past 3 years alone. And the reason why I have been able to do this all comes down to this one specific Google ad strategy. This strategy is also the same one which has allowed me to scale brands like these ones right here to over a 17x ROAS in a matter of 30 days at an £8 per conversion. And also brands like these where I've been able to scale brands to 8.17x ROAS at only $2,700 ad spent in 30 days, or brands like these where in the last 30 days we have spent 10,000 Australian dollars to make back a 5x ROAS. I'm going to be sharing this exact strategy with you and how you can use it step by step for your own e-commerce brand so that you can scale your brand to the next level from whatever level it's at currently. I'll definitely mention that following each of the steps mentioned within this strategy is extremely crucial for it to work. So you need to make sure to watch closely and until the end of this video. But the strategy itself can be divided into 3 different parts: foundation, the Google ad strategy itself, and the third and final part, the scale. Let's start off with the first, foundation. Now, in terms of foundation, what you want to understand is the foundation is made up of 3 different parts: the landing page itself, the Google Merchant Center feed, and finally the back end. These 3 things determine what kind of scale you can achieve for your e-commerce brand, so it makes sense to start by paying attention to them first. Most e-commerce brands fail exactly at this step because instead of focusing on the foundation, they go right into their Google Ads account and they start pressing colorful buttons, launching random campaigns, only to find out that they're not able to scale their brand to the next level profitably. Now, the strategy for the landing page is fairly simple and it should be created around a buying intent audience in mind. And before we actually deep dive into the strategy, it's really important for you to understand how even Google Ads traffic really works. In reality, Google Ads traffic is very hot buying intent traffic. Unlike Facebook, unlike TikTok, people on Google actively search for a product when they're looking to already purchase that product. It's not like with Facebook where you need to create some kind of interest within the audience to make them want to buy from you. So you need to keep that in mind when you're designing the landing page itself. The perfect example I have for the landing page is this one right here. This product is called Cloud Slides. That's literally the SEO keyword for this product. If we look at this landing page style right here, we can see it's very beautiful, very uniquely designed, all the way from these colorful little variation images right here and down to the description itself. It's very beautiful, has a tons of GIFs, has tons of colorful images, proper descriptions, so on and so forth. But the thing you want to understand is this landing page was designed with the audience member in mind. For this product, these kinds of little images right here, or the overall appeal, the overall look of this website makes me assume that this audience for this product is very young, maybe 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, so on and so forth. So they decided to keep it very short, very simple, directly aligned with its proper audience member. And one thing I will cover though is that whatever you do with your landing page, you want to make sure that the main buttons are easily clickable and easily findable, especially on a mobile device. You can see here that they did a perfect job of having it ideally set up for a mobile device as well. I mean, once we land right on the page, there's a very beautiful image of the product itself, and just with a few scrolls down, we can see exactly how much it costs right over here, and there's an add to cart button. Now, can there be things that could be improved? Of course there could be. The first thing that I would improve in this layout is maybe having the add to cart button a little bit more on the top, so not a lot of scrolling is needed. But nonetheless, keeping in mind what kind of traffic Google Ads sends you, you should be able to design a product page with that in mind and with the buttons all clickable and ready to send the prospect onto the next step of the funnel, which is of course on the cart page, checkout page, so on and so forth. This brings us to the next part of the foundation, which is the Google Merchant Center feed itself. Now, too many e-commerce store owners just completely disregard this. That is a losing strategy. For example, this brand we just started working with here under my Google Ads agency, Euro Marketing, has 400 disapproved products. This is not ideal. Our first step here will be to basically go over and fix all of the potential errors and issues which we can fix. Of course, there are some things which are fixable, like promotional overlay on image, very easy to fix. There's some kind of text on the image which we need to get rid of. This is also very easy to fix, this one as well. The Google Merchant Center feed optimization does not end there. There's a lot of different things which you could be going in and doing better, such as adding product reviews. So for Google Shopping, this brand already has the Google Shopping reviews set up, but it looks like it is inactive, so we need to fix that as well. You could also be going inside the growth section and managing other types of programs, like for example, free product listings. The first thing you should of course be doing things like some kind of promotion. So if you go on over to marketing, there's a promotion section. You could potentially add promo codes, you could add buy one get one free offers. There's a whole list of things you could be doing, and of course making sure all of the settings are properly in place. Google Merchant Center has all of the information needed regarding your business, because the last thing you want to deal with is unnecessary account suspensions for no reason. Extra tip I would recommend with the Google Merchant Center is you want to definitely optimize your product feed with proper SEO techniques for the titles, for the descriptions, even the images of the products which are not performing that well every 7 to 14 days, maybe even 30 days. And the way to do this, the ideal way, which has allowed me to scale to 10 million, is basically using the data we're getting from our Google Ads campaigns. Of course, you never want to guess random changes. You never want to add random keywords. It should all be based around the data that's coming in. So if you see certain keywords getting you sales, make sure to incorporate them within your titles, within your descriptions, or as much as you can. And if you see some products which are not performing up to the level you would like, maybe go in, look at the CTRs, improve the images, because the CTR heavily is influenced by the image itself. But very straightforward things you can be doing with the Google Merchant Center. This is exactly what we did to scale past $10 million. This kind of brings us to the third and final part of the foundation, which is the back end. I'm not going to go too in depth into this because there's just so much you could do to improve your backend, but I will say the ideal strategy is to focus on the email flows, the SMS flows, making sure you're working on improving your conversion rates by doing A/B testing, not just with Google Ads, but just in general every 30 days or so, because that conversion rate number is directly going to impact your performance with the Google Ads. And of course, also doing things like improving your AOV, adding more products, so on and so forth. But let's move on to the ad strategy itself. Now, keep in mind, there's no one set in stone answer to the ad strategy. I know a lot of my viewers, they just want me to tell them, use this strategy and you're going to make $10 million in revenue. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. If it was, I mean, every single one of my viewers would be billionaires and millionaires. And in terms of the ad strategy, what I am really finding the best success with is choosing one general approach to your campaigns and then basically optimizing that approach, making it customized based on the results that are coming in. So for example, one of the biggest approaches we're finding the most success with is the 2-1-1 launch strategy. The 2-1-1 launch strategy essentially says launch either 2 standard shopping campaigns or performance max campaigns, 1 search campaign, it could be branded search or a cold traffic search campaign, and 1 either display campaign, discovery campaign, or a YouTube campaign. This is a general approach into getting your foot through the door pretty much. If it's a brand new account, I do recommend standard shopping, but if it's more established, you should ideally have 2 performance max campaigns running. Just like, for example, here we had 2 performance max campaigns running, 1 search campaign, and we had 1 display campaign in the beginning, but later on we found out that the display campaign was not working. The performance max was working the best, so that's exactly what we did. We ended up launching 3 performance max campaigns in total, of course, with different segregations. So this is in terms of collections. We separated it out based on collections. There's a whole bunch of different strategies you could take here though. We launched a branded search campaign. We launched a dynamic search campaign, and this is just a general search campaign. But because of this very straightforward approach, we were able to get this account to almost a 7x ROAS in the last 30 days alone, all because of a customized approach, which we made even more custom based on these results coming in. So really, the name of the game is customizing the approach after getting some results, and not just starting with something and just running with it no matter what the results are. That's exactly what we do. But eventually, if you do things right, this will lead you to the scaling phase. And in terms of scale strategy, we keep things very simple in 2023 and onwards. Basically, based on the budget, we're optimizing either every 4 days, every 7 days or every 14 days. Of course, if you're spending anywhere like $500 a day, $1,000 a day, letting your campaigns run before optimizing every 4 days is more than enough. But if it's lower than that, I recommend letting your campaigns run for about 7 to 14 days. But again, optimizing based on the results, based on the data. Within Performance Max, a lot of e-commerce store owners don't realize that this insight section is a literal gold mine. And there's a lot of things you could be looking at right here, such as the overall search categories you're ranking for, specific keywords, what the keywords are that are getting you sales, etc., etc. There's no excuse for you not to optimize your Performance Max campaigns properly. I focus on optimizing the product titles for the underperforming products, the product descriptions, and of course the images as well. Now, I don't really touch the products that are already best selling or doing really well, because any small change could actually destroy the performance and make it go from a bestseller to not such a bestseller. But you want to really focus on improving your products that are not performing the best. You also want to A/B test things like the bidding strategies, the shopping campaign type itself, the standard shopping versus Performance Max, so many other things you could do to improve your conversion rates, average order value, so on and so forth. Because to be honest with you, there's no other secret besides this exact Google Ads strategy I'm using to scale brands to 6 and 7 figures every single month. Now, I've made a lot of mistakes trying to get to this level. I've lost a lot of money, I've scaled a lot, and I've made a lot of money in the process. But if you want to kind of avoid making all of these mistakes for your own e-commerce brand and you're already doing $40,000 or more per month in revenue, again, go to my website at yourmarketing.com and book a free call with me to see how we can potentially work together and scale your brand to the next level. But I want you to watch this video right here on my newest Google Shopping Ad strategy for 2023.